Yeah.
Awesome.
Shoot. I'm Al Farrow, and I'm a sculptor, and I've been doing sculpture for about 50 years, and late in life I got the recognition and good fortune to be asked to show in a variety of museums, and this is one that I very much looked forward to. The story's all on the outside with the guns and bullets. I'd go to the library and read about religions. And so I researched them all. And the one element that really bothered me about religion is the organized religion. It's about power, it's about control, and it's about money. And no matter which religion I looked at, it always boiled down to the same thing: power, control, and money. Religion is almost always a part of the violence accompanying a war. Not always, but so often that it's basically ubiquitous. It's just a combination that occurs. Religion is used by the powerful people to get people excited, to get people to think that their existence is threatened or something, and they get them to fight. And it's something that's been used again and again, and ironically, it works every time. And if you look around the world today, you will see conflicts that have to do with religion everywhere, between Buddhists and Muslims, between Muslims and Jews, between Christians and Muslims, and Christians and Jews, and it just goes everywhere. Doesn't matter which religion. It's hypocrisy. That's just the simplest example, but there are many, many forms of hypocrisy in the religions where they don't live what they preach. And I think all the religions incorporate some of that, but it's how people don't pay attention that upsets me. So I approach these things trying to be respectful to the religion because I respect people's choice. My whole series started out just playing on Catholic reliquaries. I was looking at reliquaries in Florence, and in one of the Medici chapels underground, I found a small silver reliquary with a crystal face that had a finger in it. And I just looked at it, and it immediately sparked the entire concept for the work I was going to do. After seeing that reliquary, I immediately went out and got a sketch pad and started drawing all kinds of ideas and thinking of how I gotta get some bullets, I gotta get some guns, I gotta do this and call it a trigger finger. So it was that one reliquary that literally triggered all that followed. Santo Guerrero basically means the saint of war. I recognized that if I used any actual saint or personage that really lived in Christianity, that it would offend people. So I decided to choose to make one up, but I wanted it to be meaningful. All the Romance languages feminize the word for war. In Italian, it's la guerra. And so I decided to masculinize it, since men have been behind most of the killing over the centuries. And so I changed it from the feminine form to the masculine form and made it an O at the end. So Santo Guerrero. That sat well with me. It allowed me to be respectful and not insult anybody's personal attachment to a saint. The interesting part of making one of these sculptures is that I can't just go out to the store and buy something that might fit in that specific spot or fill that particular need. I have to work with what I have on hand, so I have to have a lot on hand. I've accumulated quite a stash of weapons, submachine guns, pistols, rifles, everything. I have shelves and shelves of shell cartridges and bullets, and a lot of stuff I buy online. You were asking about my sourcing. Bullets and shells, you can buy used or new shells online. You can buy bullets, they have to be new. The used ones don't have form. They come from every part of the world. I am now a part of gun culture since I go to gun shows and I hang out with people from that world, and I'm completely comfortable. When I was young, I was anti-ownership, but I've long since learned that there's not that much difference between a gun collector and an art collector. The criteria that collectors use, rarity, provenance, and quality, are the same criteria that both worlds of collectors use. So there's an appreciation for the object itself, its history, as well as its quality. I think the art speaks for itself. It doesn't really need me. That's how I feel, honestly. My words, it's nice to do an interview and to address people's, thoughts and questions, but I feel like once I put it out there in the world, that's it. That's all they need. That's why I don't want to use titles. I don't want to give clues. But I think the religions are beautiful, and I think that all the religions have books that say wonderful and idealistic things that we really ought to live up to, but humans don't. I'm not denigrating any religion, and I treat all of them equally. Making art makes me feel good. When I'm working on something new, I'm excited, and I'm in a state of grace. It's just amazing how good I feel. But I like to share it. I mean, art's only good for sharing. You can't hoard it and just enjoy it alone. It's something you talk about and you demonstrate things with. So what's not to like?
Living a creative life.
Oh. I don't buy guns online.
And why is that?
Because it's too open. I'm 100% sure that the authorities have been observing me. I've been told by many people who are in the gun culture that if you did more than 2 searches for Uzis, they're looking at you. I've done more than 2,000 searches for Uzis because I've tried from every angle. Sometimes I can't get them, and so I'll build them from parts kits.